Welcome to DHN. I'm your host, Wade Teamer. If you're new here, this video is going to be an update on the Elite 8 tokens that I chose to be the top performers for the year. Now, of course, we did not expect to go full bear market this year. However, our Elite 8 has still been making massive improvements throughout 2022, and that's what we're going to break down in this video. So, if you're a returning hustler, it's that time, guys. Let's take a look at our stock, see where we've been. If you're new, you may be interested in some of these tokens, guys. And the number one token we got, you can see behind me, is a coin. All right. Now, there's a lot of controversy around this project. Okay. And it's mainly because it's one of the cryptos that you won't get rich overnight with. All right. And it's also one of those cryptos that actually significance. Okay. It's one of those cryptos that shows us what the future of this market is going to look like, because the A-coin cryptocurrency is, as you can see here, it's going to be the currency for the future Akon city. Now, if you're wondering, yes, this is the same Akon, the international megastar, recording artist, actor, philanthropist, genius. This man brought light to Africa a few years ago. So when I heard about that when I was younger, it's not surprising to see what he's doing now, guys. Now, every time I report on a coin, people always give me gas about it because you just sound like a fan. Well, yeah. Yes, I am. Okay, I am definitely a fan of this man, especially when he's reaching 54 different countries in Africa. He's trying to bring a currency to Africa. Let's just read this description real quick, and then I'm going to go into some recent developments, guys. But Africa has over 40 plus currencies across 54 countries, each struggling with a level of inflation and instability that makes growing businesses within the continent and internationally extremely difficult, while also creating massive roadblocks for entrepreneurs who wish to learn, earn, spend, and save. Through A-Coin, one currency powers a digital suite of business building tools and services to unite the people of Africa and connect them with a world ready to fuel entrepreneurial dreams, guys. And that's the point of the A-Coin cryptocurrency. It's looking to not just be the main currency in Akon City, which is ways away. You try to build a city in less than a year and see how far you get. But the city down the road, what's currently happening in Mwale Medical Center, as a matter of fact, in Kenya, people are using the A-Coin currency for medical services. So we have a use case. Oh, and by the way, it is built on Stellar, which is also on this list. But guys, outside of being used as a currency for the city, A-Coin, the ecosystem, is going to resemble an entrepreneurial mecca. All right. And that's really, I think, the strongest use case for A-Coin, is that it's building entrepreneurship. It's promoting entrepreneurship. Right now, when it comes to recent developments, guys, it's been a little bit quiet. But again, this project is barely 2 years old. All right. So that's another benefit. I think the token price right now is sitting a little bit under a penny. It's even better, guys. Long term. Gotta think long term. But this 2021 and 2022 nevertheless has been a great year for A-Coin. You can see they launched their crypto card, and I have here a picture of him with that card. Yeah, this clip was released on Twitter, guys. You can actually watch him using the A-Coin card. Now, when I was watching that, I also discovered that Akon is out in Dubai. He's in the Middle East, the UAE, and we know how interested the UAE is in crypto assets. So what he's basically doing out there is establishing the partnerships and the relationships needed to take the A-Coin currency to the UAE, which is one of the biggest retail epicenters for the next decade. Okay, there's so much going on there. All right, Digibyte, Clever, and Tron. Check that video out. But like I said, guys, we have the A-Coin card, and then with that, of course, is going to come a wallet. And earlier this year, they integrated with Fireblocks to enhance the crypto wallet's security. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be used for an entire city, but right now, it's open to everyone. It'll still be open to everyone once the city gets up and running, but as of right now, the main use case anyone can participate in. Okay, and then there will be a ecosystem of dApps coming in the future. Let's dive over to the roadmap, because, and I like how it's not an overly extended roadmap. We're not going too many years into the future here. You can see we started in 2020, all right? Late 2019 coming into 2020. Pretty much everything here has been accomplished, and you can see new dApp partners that's ongoing. The Acoin Card partner development, Build City pilot in Mawale, that's the medical center they were talking there in 2020. Coming into 2021, they got their first big exchange listing in the form of Bitmart. Still waiting on that second exchange, but hey, it's gonna come. These things take time. However, what I am looking forward to is the launch of the Acoin Net meshed Wi-Fi program. All right, we're talking internet for everybody, and we know that's going to be a very popular thing as we get deeper and deeper into the fourth industrial revolution. But like we said, we have the dApp store coming. The Acoin Card has been launched. However, of course, us in the US, we can't receive it yet, but that's gonna come shortly. Now, like I said, guys, this you can see their trusted partners there: Mawale Medical City, BitMinutes. That's another thing too I want to mention. Another piece of their roadmap that they look to address is how currency is used in Africa. If you don't know, phone minutes are used as currency out there. What they're going to do with Acoin is create a platform where the Acoin currency can kind of work like those minutes on the phone, right? And vice versa. It's going to be interoperable. So that's something to look forward to, guys. And and you can see also here our favorite three-letter word, SDG Impact Fund. So you know he's got his mind on it. Okay, you know that he knows that that's where the world is going. And we also have Banks, who is their partner for the Acoin debit card. So they will be backing the funds and in charge of custody when it comes to that, guys. So first token on the list, Acoin. I would say everything is moving swimmingly. We just got to take our time with these things, okay? Still early to the market, still new here. Now, let's jump into the next token. We're talking the one, the only, Stellar Lumens, ladies and gentlemen. Open network for storing and moving money. Now, of course, we know this year the biggest accomplishment Stellar pulled off was the successful MoneyGram integration. And as of June 10th of this year, we have successfully launched, guys, and I got a whole video on the launch of it, and there's a piece in the video where someone is actually using the service. So this, once they pulled MoneyGram away from Ripple, I knew that things were about to go the other way. But we also have, and this is just brand new, announced from the Stellar Development Foundation, guys, Soroban. We're talking smart contracts on Stellar Lumens, advanced smart contracts, okay? So with smart contracts coming to Stellar Lumens, that's going to dramatically increase the use case. It's going to dramatically increase its functionality, all right? And with partnerships like MoneyGram, we can only expect what's to come after that. Remember too, the whole Congress party, that's what I like to call it, the crypto Congress party, where Danielle Dixon and Brian Brooks and Sam Bankman-Fried and the lady from Coinbase, I never remember her name, but everybody was in attendance in Congress, letting the US government know what the crypto market is all about. And then funnily enough, after that, we get a full-blown executive order, an executive order coming from the president instructing financial institutions to learn more about digital assets. Stellar Lumens was right there, guys. So Stellar, if you've been in Stellar for a while, you know Stellar moves at its own pace. Okay, a lot of people like to correlate it with XRP when it comes to price movement, but Stellar moves at its own pace, guys, and I'm patient. I'm very patient, and you'll see there's one token on this list that you're gonna need patience in order to hold on to it. But let's jump over to the next token, guys, and this one is the almighty BNB. Now, with Binance, the main guy you want to pay attention to is Mr. CZ himself, okay? This man has been all over the place all over media, all through Ukraine. When the conflict broke out, Binance was one of the first platforms to start sending donations. As a matter of fact, they activated their debit card for Ukrainian refugees so they can use and, survive in these tumultuous conditions. Binance has been receiving regulatory approval from almost every nation on the planet. It's I can't really put into words how powerful Binance is going to be in the next bull run. Okay, like everybody has their choices. Everybody has everybody will pick Ethereum or Cardano, things like that. But I think the next king in this market is going to be Binance, and is mainly because of the infrastructure that they're building out. Okay, this is one of the biggest ecosystems I've ever seen. And here's another thing too. With the exception of Solana, Binance is the only other token with physical locations around the world. Okay, we're talking educational centers, we're talking trading desks, we're talking just corporate offices where you can come and learn and work for Binance. That's a company. This Binance is a brand, it's a company. Okay, so hey, there's not much more to say about Binance. Binance has not stopped what it has started doing in 2021 when I chose them on this list, because I knew that this year would be the year. 2021, it was difficult for them because they were getting slashed left and right. Regulatory this, regulatory that. You got to approve this, you got to verify that. That's what Binance went through in 2021. They went through the fire. And now they have come out the other side, and I don't see them being stopped anytime soon. Okay, Binance, you have the exchange, you have the international exchange, you have Binance.us, right? And on these platforms, you have DeFi protocols, staking. In a minute, they'll have an NFT wallet. The US market will. This I know because they have to compete with Coinbase, right? But here's a surprise for you guys. This is something I discovered as I was putting this video together today. As a matter of fact, Binance DeFi has added support for XRP, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's only a modest 1.4%, but the fact that we get to see that in general is a good sign. And then here's another thing too. I want to say Q4 of last year, Binance added wrapped XRP to their platform, and I was so curious as to why. Well, ever since then, a lot of XRP has been moving through Binance. Okay, Binance has a position in this market that a lot of people don't understand, guys, and I get it. Okay, and also when you take a look at Binance's future roadmap, they're bringing in so much more infrastructure, so many more developers, so many more dApps. Okay, there's a particular application software that they have ownership of. It's SafePal. All right, now I have the links down to that in the description, but basically it's a hardware wallet supported by their technology, and you can access the Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum's dApps, Polkadot dApps, Cosmos, Tron, the entire crypto market you can access from this little device. Okay, big steps for the usability of the product. That's what Binance has been focusing on. Okay, so big things coming from Binance. Still just waiting to see what is around the corner. Keep in mind too, we are in the midst of a bear market, and I was gonna do price comparisons, but because of that fact, I mean, it would just, everybody's down. All these tokens are down from that day that I chose them, so I can admit that. However, like I said, the developments have not stopped. So speaking of developments, let's go over and have a chat with our friend Matt Damon here as soon as the screen loads up. Next token on this list is crypto.com. Okay, guys, you know we love crypto.com over here. The whole Staples Center situation really set us on a good trajectory. And what crypto.com has been doing ever since, guys, has pretty much, just as it says here, become the world's fastest growing crypto application. Now, we were talking about debit cards with Acoin. Crypto.com's debit card, you know, despite the rate changes, which they had to do because they were growing so much. Keep that in mind. Those rates got adjusted because the platform was growing, which is what we want. But outside of the developments with the card, guys, what I have loved about CRO this year is their regulatory approval from Cyprus Securities Exchange Commission, their regulatory approval in Italy, their, let me keep going, hold on, Stephen Humanick, shout out to him, in principle regulatory approval from Singapore. Another one, regulatory approval from Dubai Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. These things are important, guys. This shows you that we are in the age of regulation, crypto regulation, and crypto.com is positioning itself globally. All right. And what I think is going to happen because of this, because crypto.com is not the only one that's, handling their business when it comes to regulation. We just talked about how Binance was on the same path, but VeChain as well. And the reason why that's important is because since we're entering the age of crypto regulation, and the last to the party in most cases has been the United States, what the United States is going to do is watching the coins that are getting regulatory approval in other nations around the world. So that way they have some kind of precedent. They have an example to go by and be like, okay, this token is regulated such, such, and such. So that means that we can safely bring them to this market. Okay. That's what's going to be on the other side of this whole securities, not securities, crypto regulation situation, guys. That's what's coming. But as far as crypto.com goes, guys, the biggest moves in 2022 have been on the regulatory side. And here's another gem for you if you've been holding CRO. A lot of people did not know this, but in the spring, one of the C-level positions for crypto.com, they were attending a world government summit. All right, we're not Davos. There was another one. The World Government Summit, guys, is a collaboration of entrepreneurial figures, major players, big money players from around the world. Okay, we're talking, again, BlackRock level relationships. C-level executives sitting right there on the panel with all of these titans of industry. That is why I love crypto.com. Now, let's move over to the next token, guys. We're breezing through this because I don't want this to be a 50-minute, 40-minute video, however, but, Chiliz, okay? Chiliz. I am not gonna stop holding Chiliz, the world's leading blockchain fintech provider for sports and entertainment. And if you watch the channel for a while, that is my field, guys. But if you haven't heard of Chiliz before, let me give you an idea of what it is. Chiliz is a currency option for blockchain-based products and services geared towards mainstream consumers. We want to elevate everyday experiences for fan engagement and entertainment, alternative payment solutions for conventional products, and so much more. Chiliz provides sports and entertainment entities with blockchain-based tools to help them engage and monetize their audience. And the main way that Chiliz is doing that, guys, is through this platform here. I've mentioned it a couple times in videos, but now I get a chance to really show you. This is socios.com. Okay, this is a application that is built on the Chiliz blockchain, which, by the way, they are on their way to having their own native blockchain, Chiliz 2.0. But this is the platform that is single-handedly changing the fan engagement market. All right, what you can do with Chiliz through this platform, guys, is, like they say, engage to earn. What it does is it allows you to purchase fan tokens for your favorite teams. You can participate in events, games, and things like that, and win tickets to real world events and all types of other incentives, meeting with players, merchandise, all types of things, NFTs, right? This is Chiliz power, and it has not shut down once. It hasn't been hacked. It hasn't been bought out. It's completely decentralized. It's the equivalent of a social media platform for the sports and fan industry. Okay, now I do not see any other competitors, guys. And just as far as the US market goes, you can see the branding: the Patriots, the UFC, Boston Celtics, Cavaliers, right? And on top of that, guys, we also have a PayPal integration that I am very interested to see how this is going to turn out. So pretty much if you're in France, Spain, Italy, the UK, and Poland, and you have a PayPal account, you can now purchase chilies through the Socios app using your PayPal balance. That is a relationship that I think is just the first stages of, because PayPal is a global company, right? Socios, chilies in a global market. So if they started it here, and this was June 28th, give it 6 months and we'll be able to do this in the US too, guys. Now, while that's going to be happening, let me show you what Socios is all about, okay? And we won't even need to click into these. You can just tell by the headlines, they don't stop working. And then this was a big story that came out yesterday. FC Barcelona to accelerate Web3 strategies as Socios.com invest $100 million into the team. All right. What I also find very interesting is as Chili's builds momentum, as Socios builds momentum, other tokens are starting to follow suit. Okay. We have Algorand in the Drone Racing League. We have Tezos. They have derby car circuits. Okay. What? Also, we have XDC partnering with an MLS team here in the United States, in Washington, D.C. So this is also what Chili's is doing, is also creating a sector in its own. Those fan tokens, you know, the Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester U, all of those things, before they hit crypto.com, they started on the Socios platform. No other exchange started listing fan tokens until Socios did. That's what you call an industry leader right there, guys. But yes, Socios still pumping out, still doing great things. And again, guys, of course, the prices, we're in a bear market, you know, so hey, but this is all opportunity. All right. This is all crazy opportunity. Now let's get into, we are on the second end of this list, guys. We are at token number 6, and you know what it is. HBAR, Hedera hash graph. How you doing? All right. But when it comes to HBAR, not much needs to be said. We have smart contracts 2.0, and then also we just kicked on native staking. We are in the first phase of native staking, and what that is going to do for Hedera hash graph, guys, we are only just seeing that. It's literally at the surface. Okay. I expect that, like I mentioned in the video, to take probably the remainder of this year. By December, we should start to see HBAR staking or yield earning opportunities on some of our favorite exchanges, right? And one thing that I alluded to in the HBAR native staking video, which I'll have pop up above me right here, but HBAR is already listed on a few platforms. Okay, we have Hashpack, Wall Wallet, Stater Labs. You know, the native HBAR ecosystem is already testing this out. They're participating in phase 1. However, phase 2 and phase 3, I believe, is when we'll start to see the broadening of the ecosystem. So all of the platforms that HBAR is listed on, like KuCoin, Uphold, Abra, I believe, Huobi Global, you know, those platforms, by the end of this year, you'll start to see staking opportunities pop up on those platforms. And once the retail market starts to see that, they're going to bring more attention to HBAR. It's proven by now in crypto, if you have a stakeable asset, that asset is going to always increase in value, and more importantly, maintain said value. Okay, so guys, if you haven't gotten into HBAR yet, hey, use this video as an opportunity to start taking a look. Now, let's jump over to coin number 7. And if you've been with the channel for a while, you know this is one of my favorites. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about powering the zero carbon economy, Energy Web token. Okay, Energy Web's mission is to accelerate the decarbonization of the global economy. I talk a lot about sustainable development, the climate, all of these things on this channel, because these are the use cases. These are the fields that these crypto assets are focusing on. All right. Energy Web is one of those. Let's just scroll through the medium and I can show you what Energy Web has been up to this year. Energy Web and Volkswagen delivering 24/7 renewable energy charging solutions. This is also in collaboration with BMW. These charging stations are actively running. They're up. They're all through Europe, and people are charging their vehicles with it, okay? Including Teslas. Now, as you can see here, energy data. Energy Web also focuses on the data side, okay? What Energy Web is looking to create, like I mentioned in my most recent video, is a Wi-Fi network for energy, okay? Basically, what we're gonna do is enter a world where if you're using an electric vehicle, and they'll probably find a way to convert natural gas in some fashion, so that way people can do the same thing, but the age of the gas station is no more. All right, there will be electric charging stations built throughout the US, which they are. Biden just put down a few good more billions towards the building of electric vehicle power stations all throughout the country. And speaking of Volkswagen, guess what they did? I don't know if you guys remember, but back in 2015, they had the whole diesel emission scandal. And as a result of that, they too had to build electric charging stations, 5,000 of them across the United States. Energy Web, their focus, their main use case is connecting those energy centers. Proof's right there, guys. I'm telling you, proof's right there. This market is electrifying. Now, one thing that I do want to make you aware of when it comes to Energy Web is this relationship with RMI, okay? Rocky Mountain Institute. The Rocky Mountain Institute, guys, they are one of the lead, they've been around since the 80s. Okay, they've been around since the 80s, and they have their position in American markets has always been energy. And through RMI's relationships, guys, they have Energy Web participating in an initiative called America All In, which is basically the United States way of saying we're going full green and we're going to do it by 2030. All right, they don't want to call it SDG goals, but that's exactly what you're doing, America. Okay, but Energy Web is going to be a beneficiary of these initiatives and of these moves because of what they focus on: the energy transition, the digital transformation, guys. Now, let's get to the last token on this list, guys. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this under 30 minutes, but it's Digibyte. I have not given up. Nope. I may not talk about it on the channel, and that's for a particular reason, something to do with keywords, analytics, and search volume, but I still believe in this project because in 2021, guys, I spoke with, saw documents, did research, followed the dots, and was fully convinced by the end of the year, okay, that Digibyte is going to be a part of the next wave. It's going to be a part of the fourth industrial revolution. We just don't see it yet, okay? And recently, because, you know, as I've been in the community, I've been hearing whispers about there's more Digibyte out there being held by major players than what's ever being spoken about. I'll just put it that way, okay? And because of how blockchain works and how crypto works, these transactions can remain anonymous. But if you do the right digging and if you search the right block explorers, you'll see that people are accumulating Digibyte. And we're talking large exchanges here, okay? And if you just, you know, if you dive into the Digibyte ecosystem, you get on Twitter, you'll see that there's a grassroots movement. Okay, that's where the power of Digibyte really lies, is that the community, even though Digibyte isn't in headlines 24/7, but the community is still growing. Okay, we have developers like Reno DBZ, who is constantly coming out with another app and another app and another app. I do be watching, guys, just to let you know, but I'm still holding Digibyte. Okay, like I said, we're in a bear market, so price not a factor in this video, but still holding on to Digibyte, guys. And what they have just been doing is simply bolstering their ecosystem. Okay, every month we get one of these, a update. Okay, and that's the key word there. Update every month. Update, update. No downtime, no hacks, none of that. Just updating. Okay, yeah, that's important. But just some quick glance at what happened last month, guys. We have community member Oliver Karloff released a new version of the Linux desktop Digibyte installer, and we can check that GitHub out information out right here. But guys, this is what I was just talking about when it comes to the individual development that I see being built on Digibyte. All of these applications that are coming out, they're like small little pieces. Okay, little bitty Lego blocks that when we look back a year from now and Digibyte does go mainstream, it's already got a full suite of applications compatible with any operating system. Linux desktop, thank you. Okay, but we also had Digibyte listed as one of the top 10 IoT currencies in the space. The Internet of Things is another big subject we talk about here, and that's a very, very good place to be. Because when you think about applications like DigiID, okay, and the whole Digibyte metaverse situation, yep, that's a thing. Yeah, IoT, perfect for Digibyte. As a matter of fact, the digital ID, the Atom ID application, I have video on that too. I have that pop up right here. But with that Atom ID application specifically, when it comes to IoT, what we're talking about here is being able to use the digital DigiID and let's just say place it in a computer. All right. And this computer is part of a connected network. And if you're in one location and you start an assignment and you start a project on a computer and you go to another part of the country that's within that network and you go to that next computer station, your login credentials through DigiID. Same thing, and you can jump right back on to where you were in your assignment and continue from there. So, Digibyte in top 10 IoT, like to hear that. Now, Invest Portal, which covers stocks, forex, cryptos, also added some Digibyte coverage. So it's good to see mainstream Digibyte coverage, guys. And you know what's crazy about that is if you go overseas, that's all they talk about is Digibyte. Honestly, in Africa, the Middle East, they're talking about Digibyte. Okay, the UAE, they're talking about Digibyte. As a matter of fact, guys, as we end this, I want to send you to this video where we break down Digibyte's largest secret. Okay, and we're not talking about this staking that wasn't publicly announced. No, I'm talking about the relationship between Digibyte and Lulu International. You're gonna love that if you're holding Digibyte. But with all that being said, guys, we have made it to the end. So if you're still here, smash that like button for me. Leave a comment down below letting me know, let us know your thoughts. What are you holding for this year? What's your top 8? We want to know. And while you're doing that, you know what I wanted you to do? Have a great day. Have a prosperous day. And most importantly, tell your friends that if the money is digital, so is the hustle. I'll see y'all in the next video.